Welcome, everybody. Yeah, I'm wearing my favorite sparkly jacket from the show, from one of the finales, and then my sus shirt. So, I want to start off quick, because the stream's not going to be that long. I want to basically answer questions from the show, because I've seen a bunch of people asking me questions on social media. So I thought I would collect all of the questions that you guys had and answers into this live stream that I will keep up as a video and cut down to like the main parts. But I have a video to show you first of, so we filmed a house tour behind the scenes video. We are going to watch the video that I filmed while on set, and then I had the amazing editor Emily make it awesome. So I'm gonna show you guys that now. And then after the video, I think it's like 10 minutes. After that, I'm gonna come back here and answer a bunch of your guys' questions live. And that's how we're gonna do it. Well, hello there. Welcome to my amazing house. That's definitely mine.
Thank you for having us, the Laurenzside. I hear we're on the set of your new YouTube original show, Secret Saboteurs.
We are. So this is definitely my house and not a rented house that I'm using to plan devious games for other YouTubers. It's given us some crazy twists and turns throughout each game and the voting ceremonies, and I can't wait for you guys to see it.
Can you show us around the house? What's your favorite part?
Ooh, let me show you the kitchen. Look how adorably it's set up. I feel like I'm on a baking cooking show, which I've always wanted to be on as well. So it's just my way of implementing my goals and dreams into the show so that other people can experience them and not me, and I can just watch them.
What's the most unexpected part of shooting a show?
Probably how many people it takes to make a show. As you can see, there's people everywhere. They're all doing specific jobs, and just everybody's been super awesome. But yeah, there's a lot more people and time and things that go into a show than you might actually think.
What do you think your fans will be most excited to see with this show?
Probably the games. I think that the games and the voting. On the channel, I was doing a lot of Among Us and things like that. People always like the voting because there's always unexpected things that happen. And we've reached the most unexpected part of the house, my bread bar. It's very fancy and nice.
Well, you look fantastic. Tell us what's that process been like?
So it's been very nice. I get to wake up, not do my hair, not do my makeup, and then walk into these fabulous ladies to fix me up and make me look amazing like I do today. We chat in here, we eat donuts. It's been great.
It's our favorite time of the day, I should say.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, I get to look glam every day thanks to these ladies, and I don't have to do anything, so that's even better. Thank you guys.
You're welcome. Bye.
And Lauren, you're a new mom, right?
I am.
6 months in?
Yep, 6 months going quick.
How is it, and what's your favorite part of motherhood?
It's been going great. She actually came out with me to do the show. She's staying in the little guest house over there. Favorite part, just seeing them grow and change and doing new things literally every week.
And how has it been balancing motherhood and YouTube these days?
It's definitely tricky. It's hard to say goodbye to the baby because she's so cute and so happy and I love her so much. To go down and film videos for everybody. But it's been okay because my husband's been really, really good with her so that I can still make content.
Lauren, how did you get your start on YouTube?
So I actually started back in 2007 before YouTube even was anybody's career. I don't think it made anything back then. Did it for fun. Left for a little bit to go to college, came back and picked up gaming because I didn't see that many girls doing it on YouTube, and I thought that was sad, and I wanted to fill that void a little bit. Now there's so many girls doing gaming content on YouTube, which is awesome.
Did you ever imagine that you'd be the face of a YouTube original series and be able to add TV host to your resume?
No. So when I originally was approached for this, I was like, host? I don't do hosting. I'm not good at that. But it's going better than I thought.
Yeah, word on the street is you're really good at this.
Oh.
Did you go to school for TV production?
I did actually. I went to school for TV production, thinking I was going to be one of the behind the scenes people that I'm actually around all day, every day during this production. So it's been pretty cool seeing what they do from a talent perspective.
Wow, this weather is super beautiful in LA.
Oh, it's so nice.
What's your favorite thing to do here when you visit?
Eat the food. I've eaten so much food here. I feel like LA food is
amazing. Also, just sit outside and enjoy the weather because around this time where I live, it's about to snow. So I'm gonna be really sad once I go home and I step off the plane and I'm freezing because this is beautiful. Especially this area, there's all these like orange trees and grapefruit trees and citrus trees. I have never seen one in person, actually. How sad that is.
Ooh, is this one of your devious challenges back here?
Yes, it is.
Tell us, what's your favorite part about being the mastermind of these games? Is this like real life Sims or something?
It is like real life Sims, and that's why I was so excited to do this project when they asked me. But getting to watch it safely and comfortably in my control room is very nice, especially because some of the challenges get a little intense, get a little messy, so it's nice to watch other people do it and not me.
What's your favorite game to play right now?
I know that Animal Crossing has a new update coming out, I think today, right now. Not while you guys are watching this, but while this is being filmed. So I'm very excited to get back and play that. I've also been enjoying a lot of indie horror games right now. I feel like that scene has exploded recently.
Ooh, I see snacks.
Yeah, this has been very dangerous because I'm staying over there and it's literally a couple steps from my house. They have everything. They have candy, they have healthy food, they have donuts. It's delicious, and I've definitely gained a lot of weight being here. It's my little secret passageway. Come on in. Hello.
There's a lot of secret passageways in this house. What's a secret or something your fans don't know about you?
But I actually hate bread. I'm actually gluten intolerant. I can't eat it. Could you imagine? Imagine that was the secret. Maybe the fact that I don't know what I'm doing ever. People always like, oh, you're so cool. You always know what you're doing. No, even this show. I was terrified to do it, but now I feel like I've kind of grown into it. See, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, Lauren, you got a dish. When did your love affair begin?
That's the real secret. How did you know?
Okay, Lauren, you got a dish. When did your love affair with bread begin?
It's weird. I don't know how it escalated so much. I feel like I answered a question on my channel once of what my favorite food was, and I think either my husband made fun of me during it, saying that it was a boring food, that my favorite food is just bread, like a general term. And then my fans kind of just ran with it, and then I started making more videos about bread and bread-related things so that I could have an excuse to eat it, and it just escalated naturally. And now, I think you guys are ready to see my lair. Come on through. Ah, yes, where I spend a lot of my time.
Ah, so this is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens. I get to sit here and watch everything. Not right now, but usually.
This place is nice.
Thanks, I set it up myself. Bread and everything.
Okay, top 5 favorite breads. Go.
Ooh, brioche for sure. Challah bread. Bagels? Pretzels. I've really liked croissants lately, especially being here.
So is it fair to say LA has the best croissants?
Yeah, probably. There was a huge one here the other day, like this big, and I've never seen that before. So it's gotta be, I think LA wins it. LA's got the best croissants. Not France, LA. Any French viewers, please don't come for me. Okay, stay right there. I'm gonna come down, and then we're gonna go down to the voting area, which is the most epic of all areas. Okay. Oh, hello.
So Lauren, it sounds like the show has mystery, intrigue, and edge of your seat elimination. What are some of your favorite reality shows that give us the same kind of vibe?
Maybe not the same type of vibe, but I love the Great British Bake Off. I'm really excited that there's some sort of kitchen challenge that I can't tell you guys about. Below Deck, I also really like, which kind of has a similar vibe because it's people throwing each other under the bus to try and get a better tip or to make themselves look better on the show. It's about a yacht crew. It's really cool. Love reality shows that dictate or show real life. And this is my real life. I mean, kind of. It's like a real life version of me manipulating game characters like I do on my channel, but it's real people, real YouTubers.
If you could assemble a super crew of YouTubers, who might you pick on your team?
So I'd probably be biased, but definitely a bunch of my YouTube friends. I think you guys all know who I'm talking about. A lot of people I collaborate on YouTube with would be really cool to have on the show. And here is the voting table. I stand here on this little podium because I'm very short, and I'm always in a very glamorous outfit, which is awesome. And if you come around front, there's all these really pretty stars and lights, definitely my aesthetic. And it's beautiful out here at night. They light it really nice. So Knives Out, as the title suggests, is the most dangerous devious part of the whole game, because if you don't survive Knives Out, you're gone. You're eliminated. You're off the show, and you want to stay on the show because it's a lot of fun. And you can win money for charity, so. But yeah, this is the last part of each episode, and it's definitely the most dramatic, and I love it. It's my favorite part. So definitely make sure you stick around through the whole episode and watch Knives Out, because you won't regret it. Come here, I want to show you guys something.
Hey, Laura.
Hello. We're doing behind the scenes.
Hey. Lauren is the best host ever. She's a rock star.
Thank you. Definitely didn't make him say that.
She did not pay me $1,000 to say that.
Nope. This is the interview room where all of our contestants come bare their souls.
So Lauren, while we have you here on the hot seat, what's the strangest thing you've come across on the internet?
How do you choose? There's so many. I mean, I even have like a YouTube series of cursed videos that I've come across on the internet to put on. Oh, wait, I thought of one. Long Furbies. It's people who take Furbies and then like elongate them for some reason. They also take them and put arms on them and legs. Don't ever look up long Furbies on the internet. You will not sleep ever. You'll never look at Furbies the same again.
So are these some of your looks for the show?
These are. The one I got the most compliments on so far has definitely been this one. Tell me this isn't me. Although it's not purple. I don't even know if the camera's doing it justice, but it's beautiful. Just take my word for it. Get ready for all my YouTube videos to be in this. All of them. Okay, I have to get ready for Knives Out, so you have to go. Just go. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you watch the show to find out what happens. Goodbye.
It's just me like. So if you have questions, I'm going to try and answer as many as I can in the chat. I obviously can see the super chat and member renewal ones a lot easier. Like, for example, Jade Pilo, thank you for the super chat. And she asked, do you ever plan to do another season? So this is like the number one thing I've been asked since it finished. People are like, when season 2? Is there gonna be a season 2? Can't wait for season 2. So season 2 is up in the air only because YouTube Originals shut down. If you didn't know, YouTube's branch called YouTube Originals, where they basically produced this entire show. Like they pay for it, they hire everybody, they get all the other YouTubers involved. They were the ones behind this show. Their section of YouTube is no more. Like they're finishing up their last couple projects and then stopping making shows going forward like this. So I don't know. There's a lot of logistical stuff behind it because YouTube owns the rights to the show. So we have to see about that. There's the possibility that if YouTube's okay with it, because YouTube Originals is going to be no more, that we could take the concept and get somebody else to fund and be the network for it. But like I said, whatever happens, I'm totally fine with. Like, I would love for there to be a season 2. If there's a way to make it happen, we will find a way to make it happen. But as of right now, it's like TBD. Like, we don't know if there will be a season 2 because YouTube Originals is gone. If they weren't, then I'd be like, ooh, if the show does really good, they will do a season 2. But either way, if the show does really good, somebody might pick it up. So it's not what is the word I'm thinking of? It's not a possibility that there could be a season 2. It's a maybe. So we don't know when that would be or if it'll happen. So fingers crossed. Like, keep sharing it and watching it with your friends and family. Like, the better it does, the more chance we have to hopefully getting somebody else to pick it up and do a season 2. So that's where we're at right now with season 2. Hopefully, but it's not official and there's a lot of moving pieces to figure out if it's gonna happen. So what other questions do we have? So that's season 2, about season 2. I don't know. Because of YouTube Originals not being around anymore after this season. Thank you guys so much for all the members like Boba Frappe and Pussy Cat. Thank you so much. did you pick this? Oh, sorry. Lyrically asks, did you pick the Secret Saboteurs? No, I did not pick the Secret Saboteurs. This all happened very quickly. I was told about this, and then everything was sorted out within a month. And then I had to like go out to LA for it. It was very quick roll. It was very fast rolling. So YouTube, because they were the ones behind the show, producing the show, and they have all the logistical back end stuff. They went through to try and cover as many different like audiences as possible throughout everybody that they chose. I gave them a list of people that I thought would be good. Also, keep in mind, this was in October last year. There was still like a lot of regulations as far as people traveling, or there was also a lot of regulations as far as people traveling from other countries. I'm pretty sure all the Secret Saboteurs for this season were US based, so that we didn't have to run into problems with them coming from another country because of COVID restrictions and travel guidelines and things. So that also dictated who was able to be on the show or not. I gave a list, and it's funny because Cupquake was on that list, and she had already agreed to come on the show like before I even gave my list. So no, I didn't get to pick. I suggested people, but they also had like to try and find audiences or people across YouTube that would resonate with all different types of audience and not just my audience, which I understand, so that it gets out to more people and covers more interests and creators. But I did not know anybody. The only people I knew going into making the show was Tiff, like Cupquake, obviously, and then Bree, or Brianna, like Brianna and Preston, Brianna that was on the show. I had met her at a YouTube Creator Summit event, and I did a couple live, like, Among Us gameplays with her for charity and things, so I knew her pretty well, too, and we text and stuff, so. Those were the only two people I knew going into it, and now I know everybody, and everybody was awesome, so it all worked out. What other questions? Rosebuds, who was your favorite YouTuber on the show? I can't pick a favorite. Honestly, every person that was on the show was great to work with. As far as as far as me working with them, everybody was super pleasant and nice and fun. Obviously, I was biased toward like Bree and Tiff because I knew them already, so I was hoping that they would stay around for a while on the show. But yeah, I liked everybody on the show. Everybody was really awesome. I'm surprised. Usually you'll have like one or two people that everybody's like, oh no, they're rough to work with. But I can't say that about anybody that I was around during the show, which is really nice and refreshing. And that's what made it so sad when people got voted off, because I was like, oh no, I'm not going to see them again now. Tyler, thank you for the 9-month membership. If you had to compete in any of the challenges, which would you want to do most? Tyler, this is a good question, because the whole time of doing the show, I was secretly wanted to be one of the contestants. Like, I was just like, oh, I would have done this. I would have played this way. Yeah, so I already like wanted to be on the show if I wasn't the host of the show. I guess my favorite challenge that I would have wanted to do, maybe the cupcake one. What was the second to last one? The elephant toothpaste one was cool. Probably the cupcake one. Just because it involved like baking in the kitchen and it was very chaotic, and yeah, that was probably my favorite. That was my favorite challenge to watch as a viewer, so I feel like that would be my favorite one to do. Lyrically, am I planning on making merch surrounding it? No, because I don't technically own the rights to the show. YouTube does. So, I'm sure if I asked I could, but I'm not there yet. Let's see if I want to see if the show continues past the first season first. Fiery Phoenix Gaming, if I was the Secret Saboteur, would I be sneaky or really obvious about it? Probably sneaky, because I feel like Lorray went the very obvious route and it got him out immediately. So, especially when you're playing with other people that aren't necessarily gamers or big Among Us players, they may just see you obviously doing it and being like, oh, it's her, like, which is kind of what happened. So sneaky is definitely the safer route to go. I think I would do that just so I could be on the show longer. What other Secret Saboteur questions do we have? Moving to the chat. Ask me whatever other questions you have while you have the chance. Lost where I was. Like I said, I'm only answering questions about Secret Saboteurs right now. Oh. I do have... Hold on, I forgot I wrote down some questions that I saw on Twitter. Here we go. Let's see if I answered them already. Oh, okay. I saw on Twitter somebody was like, was basically complaining that we weren't wearing masks. I don't know if you haven't watched, there's been tons of movies and TV shows that are produced during the pandemic. There's specific protocols that you have to follow as a production set, and we were following every single one of them. So if you watch the behind the scenes video that I just showed, the house tour, all the staff around us was wearing masks. Also, the majority of the stuff was outside, which was also nice because the weather was really nice. People were spread out everywhere. The house was huge, so we were spread out a lot. So all the crew and everything was wearing masks. In addition to that, talent, because we have to be talking, and if you have a mask, you can't really see who's talking or when they're talking or anything. We didn't have masks on. However, I had to get a negative, me and Bobby, even though he wasn't on the show, both had to get a negative COVID test before we even flew out there. When we got a negative one, we flew out there. I got tested again once I arrived, and then I got tested again, I think 1 or 2 more times on the actual set while we were filming, and all talent had to do that because we were the ones without masks on. So we follow COVID protocol, like whatever production California protocol that they have for productions, we followed it. Also, I believe the majority, I know I was asked for my vaccine card to make sure that I was fully vaccinated, which I was. I don't know if you had to be on the show. I don't know if that's part of the protocol, but yeah, we did everything that we could to follow protocol and still get the show done. And as far as I know, or as far as I'm aware, nobody had or got COVID during that time. None of us did. None of the talent did, I know. Tiff had just gotten over it and just got a negative test before the show, thank goodness. But yeah, so we did follow every COVID protocol that we possibly could have, or were supposed to do. What was the other questions? Oh, so fun fact, if you watch the house tour and some of the overview of the house, we actually stayed not on set. Me, Bobby, and the baby, there was a guest house on the property that was in the back. Nothing was filmed there. It had its own gate and grass area. But it was this tiny house in the back that basically had 2 small bedrooms and a little bathroom and then just a main area. So in order for me, because Melody she just turned 6 months on the day we flew home from there. So she was 5-6 months when we went. That's also why a lot of my outfits are big and baggy. We were trying to hide the fact that I just had a baby 5 months ago. So we stayed on the property, which was really awesome because every time I had a break, I was allowed to go back to my house for the day and go see the baby. So because I said that was my biggest thing. I didn't want to go out to LA and then be filming 12-hour days and not seeing my baby the entire time because I would be super upset. So they made it work and it was awesome. And yeah, we rented out that like back guest house from the owners. And it worked out really good because yeah, I got to go see the baby whenever. A couple times Bobby and Melody, because the weather was so nice, would sit outside in that little like fenced in area with the grass because they could kind of see what was going on but not be like near people. But yeah, so that was really cool that we got to stay like on the property, even though the house was a little tight with like 5-6 month old that we'd be really quiet around. But it worked. It worked for the week. I think we were there 10 total days and through Halloween. So that was our first Halloween with her, was spent in LA at that little house. Okay, another question I had. Sorry, I saw these on Twitter and they're good questions. Did the Saboteurs know who the other Saboteurs were? Somebody said it later in the series. We probably should have said it up front. But no, the Saboteurs did not know who the other Saboteurs were because we didn't want them all like ganging up on everybody. Especially once some of the honest players started getting voted out, it would have been really easy for them to like gang up, be like, this is who we're gonna vote for. We thought it'd be funnier too if they accidentally voted off like another Saboteur, because you don't want to do that because it would help you in the end. So yeah, the Saboteurs did not know one another. So they had to guess just as much as everybody else who the actual other Saboteurs were. And also a lot of people asked if I got to keep the wardrobe. I got to keep some of the wardrobe. So about half of the wardrobe was my own clothes that I brought. The like week leading up to it, I literally was just going through my closet and finding pieces that fit me post-baby that would work for the show and then sending screenshots to like the production team to see if they thought it was a good or bad outfit. So half of it worked out and I brought, and then the other half they gave me, including this jacket. Or not gave me, they had me wear for the show. This, I got to keep a couple pieces that, they didn't need afterwards. So like, this was my wrap gift. This was probably the more like expensive item that we got for wardrobe, but it was beautiful and everybody loved it so much and said it was so me. So this was my like wrap gift at the end of the show, which I love it. Yeah, this Sus shirt was mine. I bought it from Amazon, if anybody's looking for it. It's just a Sus t-shirt from Amazon. I got to keep that. Somebody asked about the blazer jacket I wore during the elephant toothpaste competition. That was mine as well. I don't think, the one thing I'm sad, the star sweater in the first episode, that was not mine, that was theirs. But I came home and saw pictures of me in it, and I loved it so much that I bought it. That was on Amazon too. So I bought a new one just so I could have for myself. A lot of the jewelry I got to keep, and the small things. I got to keep the jeans that I wore. I think during the last episode, that I wore during the house tour. I love them. They're like serious mom jeans. They're so comfortable. But yeah, I got to have a say. A lot of the outfits had to be approved before I could wear them. But they always asked me like if I felt comfortable, if I felt confident. There's a couple outfits that I'm watching back and I am not crazy about, but in the moment I was like, yeah, this looks good. The one I think was my least favorite was the red one from the bath bomb episode. During the voting ceremony, I was wearing this like, they thought it was like nautical looking, and now I'm watching it back up. I'm like, it made me look enormous and like your old aunt that comes to Thanksgiving. Like that's what it looked like afterwards. But in the moment they were like, they never made me wear anything that I was uncomfortable wearing. There was a couple times they put me in outfits that they thought looked good and I was like, this doesn't look good. This isn't me. And then we changed it up. But the outfits that I was in, I originally was like, yeah, this looks good. But the majority I liked. My favorites are definitely the like hacker look that I had in the bath bomb video with my braided pigtail hair and this shirt with that was my jacket too, the iridescent jacket I was wearing, the raincoat. That's probably one of my favorite outfits. The finale dress, I'm really sad that I didn't keep. the finale, like the blinged out finale dress. That was really cool. This jacket, I loved that outfit. Yeah, all in all. And I loved the original outfit, the star sweater. I loved so much I went and bought. So, what other question? I think those were the questions. Yeah, hair and makeup. I got done every day. It was fantastic. I loved the hair and makeup girls. They were in the house. I don't think the hair, they didn't film Stevie. She was the one that did my hair. But yeah, the hair and makeup team was amazing. I loved coming in and talking to them every morning. They were so nice. And like, it was really nice being on camera and having somebody run in and fix my hair and makeup whenever it was a little out of whack. I wish I had that. I wish I had that when I filmed YouTube videos. I would always look perfect. Oh, I got more questions. Where is it? The last two remaining Secret Saboteurs were really good. Blending with the crowd. Thank you, Ryan. Allie Sessions, how did you decide who would be the Saboteurs and who would be the honest players? So that actually was not my doing either. That was the producer. I don't know if it was YouTube or the producers or both. But the producers were also awesome. You could tell, like, they were seasoned reality show producers, and you could tell that they knew what they were doing. And then when I got to watch the edits, I was like, wow, there's so many moments where I remember being in it, and I was like, oh, this is kind of slow paced, or like, this person didn't explain that really well, and they were always like, don't worry, we have editing, don't worry. Like, nothing was edited to where it wasn't what actually happened, but the pacing and the way that they structured everything, just like, I can't believe everything was flowing so great, like, from that. And it's because they knew what they were doing. So yeah, the producers picked who would be the Saboteurs and the honest players based on interviews that they did with each person on the show. Like, they interviewed each YouTuber and asked them, would you make a good Saboteur? Why or why not? And then basically went that route in deciding who they thought would be the best ones. But I think they were awesome. They told me before we started filming, like the first day of shooting, they told me that morning. And I was like, perfect. Like, I had nothing to say about their picks. Is there a playlist of the show? Steve Woods, yes, it's in the description if you need to catch up or watch any of it. I did the favorite challenge. Evermore, what was the most difficult challenge to make? So a lot of the challenges, actually, the production team came up with by watching my channel. They went over it with me in a call before we went there, just to make sure that I was okay with all of them, and I thought that all of them were like me and good for the show. Like, I can't stress enough how open the production team and YouTube were to hear my ideas. Like, I got episode 1 back, and I had a lot of feedback of how to make it better, or things that were missing, and they literally like took it all and put it in the first episode. So yeah, they were super receptive to all of my ideas, which was fantastic. But I think the final challenge they were working on all the way up, like the whole week, all the way up until they did it. Like, that one I think was the most difficult for them to set up, was that last, like, the Cosmic Climb one. So shout out to the cast that built that. That was insane. Some of the questions you guys are asking, I answered already. So once this video stays up, definitely go back and check out what I said. What time are we at? I'll go about an hour. So somebody asked how long it took to edit. A long time, I'm sure. I wasn't the one that edited it, thank God, or I would still be editing it right now. But we filmed it. So the timeline was, we filmed it. I went out there at the end of October. We started filming, I think, November 1st, that first week of November. And then it was supposed to air in February. Like, February 14th was the original air date. So I'm pretty sure that's how long it took them to I got like the main cuts of the show before they fine-tuned it. I got those in January, I believe. So they were pretty quick on like getting it done, which is impressive. But then because YouTube Originals, they came out and said that they were shutting down the department, we had to push back a month just so that they could sort out what was going on over there first. But yeah, so that's about how long it took. Will there be different people in season 2? If there's a season 2, of course, yes, it would be different people. Or different YouTuber, content creator. Oh god. I keep trying to find a question and then the whole chat, like, resets. Crazy Dido, I answered the season 2 question. That was the first question I answered, so you have to go back in the video and see that. What were the charities that were donated to? I don't know. I know Cupquake said what charity hers was in an Instagram. You'd have to ask each of them. They each had a charity going into it already, like, that they had chosen. Tiff, so it went to Tiff and Chris's charities, so you'd have to ask them. I think Tiff's was some children's charity, but I don't know exactly which one. But yeah, if there's a season 2, I hope I have more of a say in who is it? Although I also want the feedback of people, because like there was huge names in this season that I had never heard of, because I feel like the content creator sphere is just so huge now. So I definitely would like feedback on other creators that might be good for the show that I don't even know, because it's a totally different audience than what I'm used to watching myself or people I'm playing with. But yes, I would definitely hope and ask for at least 2 to 3 of the people to be people I know in the gaming community and or friends of mine. Because I feel like gamers, especially with this type of reality show game challenge, are really good to have on because they're usually competitive. A lot of them did play Among Us. So I would probably go off whoever I played with Among Us, I would go off that and be like, try to think who was really good at the game or interesting to watch play that game. Tyler, that's a good question. I don't want to say it though, because I don't want anybody to get. He asked who I would invite as individuals to Secret Saboteurs in a hypothetical season 2. Okay, this is not based on friendship levels. This is just based on who I think would be really good playing the game, or interesting playing the game. I have too many. Okay, just to throw some names out there. I thought, out of my friends, like Scott is awesome at playing the game. Gloom, Cassie is amazing at playing the game. Lizzie and Joel would be hilarious, either or both of them. Corey Kenshin would be hilarious, like absolutely. He was one of the people I suggested for the first one too. I was just like, if you can get him, my god. But I think it was too late at that point. Yeah, those are some of the people that I've played with that have been like hilarious during my Among Us days. Trying to think about Joey would be awesome, especially from that side, because he used to do Escape the Night as like the host, so it'd be awesome to see him as a player in one of the shows. Yeah, there's too many people. There's too many people I'd love to have in a season 2. If I could just list out all my friends to be in season 2, that would be amazing. Was it hard in LA with a baby and COVID? Yes, that was our first flight with her. She did very well. She did throw up on Bobby during the one flight, which was really rough to like clean up and straighten out. And I had to walk her up and down the aisles a couple times because she wouldn't sleep. But overall, she was not as bad as I thought she was going to be. And there was a lot of other babies on the flight, so I wasn't as like nervous about upsetting people. We also luckily got business class because we were going out there for a business thing. So we got lay flat seats, so it was a lot, and we had our own pods, so it was a lot easier to have a baby there. But yeah, it sucked because we had to wear masks the whole time with a baby who's constantly like trying to pull our mask down, and just like we want to still be able to smile at and communicate with. It's very difficult when you have a baby and you're trying to wear a mask. Like, also it was really hard in LA because we wanted to rent a car, but there was no room at the house for a car because of all the production stuff. So we were kind of trapped at that like little guest house. We literally did not leave it. Like, we flew into LA, went to the guest house, and then went home. Like, we didn't go anywhere. We had to order like Uber Eats or Postmates or whatever constantly to get food there. When we were filming, they provided us food, but after filming, we were on our own, like during the weekends and nights and stuff. But yes, it was very hard. It was worth it, but hard. What was your favorite Knives Out? Oh, without a doubt, episode 4 was my favorite Knives Out. Like, we literally, they didn't show my face, but I was absolutely shocked. So going into each one after they voted, we took it, like, me and the producers went back. I was like the overseer to make sure that, I don't know, everything was going correct, like that none of the votes were altered, whatever. None of them were. I was there the whole time. We went back, the producers looked at it, and then basically what they do with the votes is we arrange them so that, say there's like 3 for Brie, which would get her out, and then everybody else was sprinkled. You don't want all 3 votes coming up first and then start sprinkling, because before the voting's over, you're gonna be like, oh, it's Brie. So you want it to be like create tension. So you want to like arrange them so it comes down to the last vote if possible, to make it more dramatic and interesting. So that's what we would look through, rearrange them. So I went through, or they were looking at it, and they like made a sound, and then they handed it back to me. And usually they'll hand it back to me and they'll tell me who got voted out before I start doing it, just so that I can know what direction it's going. They handed it back for episode 4 and was like, I said, oh, are you going to tell me who it was? And they said, no, we're just going to let you be shocked with everybody else. But like, I took that as being sarcastic because I thought it was going to be Brie. I was like, oh, it's going to be Brie. And then we went through it and I was like, what just happened? Like, I was absolutely, every single person, like crew that was watching from the sidelines and the cast, every single person was absolutely shocked at episode 4 what happened. And I remember going back to the guest house at night and telling Bobby, I was like, that voting ceremony was crazy. Yeah, and you could see it. You could see like how shocked, like Bree's face to what happened was amazing. It also made us have to change the rules, because then it left us with 2 saboteurs and 2 honest players, which obviously if you only had to vote 1 person at the end, you would automatically lose because you can't vote 2. So that's why it got harder for the honest players, because they had to make 2 correct choices at the end instead of 1. Did you run into fans in LA? No. There was apparently some fans outside that knew Noah was there. Like, Noah that was on the show. There was some girls that were out there trying to look for him. But no, I didn't see anybody, because I literally just went from the airport to the set and vice versa. If I'm not answering your question, it's because I did already, by the way. Or it's not Secret Saboteur related. Was Brianna's reveal in the first episode scripted, or was it just a surprise to everybody? That was not scripted. That was a surprise. So we kept toying with the idea. We didn't know if we wanted to reveal all the saboteurs up front, or if we wanted everybody to figure it out. So as a middle of the ground, because Brie was so, like, not obvious, but a lot of people thought it was her in the first episode, they decided to let her reveal that it was her, so we could follow at least 1 saboteur behind the scenes, and let them talk to the confessional. Oh yeah, Tyler and Gender Fluid Monarch asked if there had been a tie, what would have happened? They had a protocol for if there was a tie. I never got to find out what it was. They wanted to leave it as like a surprise in case it happened, but there was a protocol if there was a tie. I thought what they said was that they would most likely just do, so say there was a bunch of them, say like episode 3, there was 6 people left, and the tie would be between 2 people. They would do a second vote where everybody had to vote only one of those 2 people, so that it would eventually, most likely, hopefully not be a tie again. There was also protocol, so say they voted all the Secret Saboteurs out immediately, like by episode 3 or 4, because we were slated for 5 episodes, there was also a protocol for what they would do if all the Secret Saboteurs were voted out before the end of the show. I don't want to tell you guys in case there's a season 2, because then we could have a little twisty twist. But there was protocol for that as well. They basically had protocols they ran through as the show went on, they kept running through all different scenarios so that we'd be prepared based on who was voted out, which was really cool. Where did the guests go after they were voted out? Did they actually live in the mansion? No, they did not live in the mansion. We basically lived in the mansion because we were there 12 hours a day, if not more. So basically they just didn't sleep at the mansion, but we were there bright and early and we were there till late. So, but after they were voted out, they got to go home. So like Marcel got to go home, or he could go home if he wanted. I think he stayed in LA for a little bit. So most people that came from out of town and didn't live in LA, like planned to be there the week just in case. And if they got voted out early, they could go home early if they wanted, or they could chill out in LA and do whatever they wanted. That's why I said I was going to feel bad for whoever got voted out first regardless, because it was literally the first episode. When's the episode? Oh, we're not doing. I already answered the afterlife question. We're doing Secret Sab questions only. Tuna melt sounds good. Thanks, Neza. I'm glad we're on the same page. Yes, I'm only answering Secret Saboteur questions for the next, like, couple minutes before my camera dies again. What was your favorite sabotage? I really liked Laurenzside in the baking challenge, where he just, like, went crazy and started putting, like, eggshells in people's bowls, and, like, I said he could have played it so much better, though, because he put, like, bad ingredients into the sugar or the flour that he knew everybody was going to start, like, need to take. He could have played it off that, like, if he would have poured it in the main thing, whether you were a saboteur or an honest player, you would have been accidentally putting bad ingredients into your cupcakes, and it would have confused people if you were like, I don't know, I grabbed the flour and somebody must have sabotaged it. Like, you would have no idea who actually did it. But he didn't play that way. That's why I said it the whole time I was watching it. I was like, oh, I would have did it like this. But it was really fun. I was dying laughing watching him, like, sabotage during that challenge. Ooh, who's my favorite saboteur? I thought Dante did a really good job. I know I wasn't gonna spoil stuff, but I thought Dante did a really good job. I'm just gonna say, like, who my favorite contestants are. Like from a viewer perspective, not from a person perspective. Lorray was hilarious, of course. Like, his one-liners were great. Noah, I actually was, like, really rooting for toward the end, because he was trying so hard. Like, or not trying so hard, but, like, in all the challenges, he was really trying to win them. He was super competitive. I was rooting for him a lot. Tiff, I felt so bad for toward the end. Like, she was just so mentally exhausted by not knowing who it was so many times in a row. I felt so bad. She was, like, the one I was rooting for at the end. I was like, you can do it, girl. You can figure it out. Was some of it, Cupcake Panda said, was some of this staged? Or was it a freebie? Staged. None of it was staged. I don't know what you mean by staged. Like, I guess the only part that was staged was I said that we were all, like, living in a house together. But that was, like, the story concept. But, like, all the challenges were... we literally gave them the rules to the challenges. Nothing was changed or set up differently. We told them how to do the challenges. We filmed what happened. Voting ceremony, nothing was set up. We literally had the round table talk. Sometimes it might sound like I had an earpiece in while we were filming the round table, where one of the producers would kind of like help me guide the conversation. But it was mainly just making sure people weren't talking over one another or talking for too long, or not covering certain aspects that happened earlier in the day. So every now and then, like, you might see... So I was allowed to ad-lib as much as I wanted, but a lot of it was, like, fed through to try and, like, steer the conversation in the correct direction and not go off on tangents or arguments. But yeah, otherwise, nothing was really staged. Everything was kind of set up, and then whatever happened, happened. Like, nobody told the saboteurs to sabotage specific things or say specific stuff. I had a question. Oh, thanks, Neza. Yeah, we really liked... So, the last episode, when they did those mini games, the original concept was to do those more throughout the show, because when you did those mini games, nobody could see what you were doing, and it would kind of just be like having to decide if somebody just didn't complete the mini game because they couldn't or because they chose not to. But it would have made the episodes like way too long. So they did it for the last one just because we only had 4 people left, so we had to fill up some time for the last episode. But yeah, that was pretty funny, like watching the saboteurs deliberately not try for those mini games because nobody could see what they were doing. Did you tell everyone to, like, not watch it yet? Because Brie revealed herself. What? It's been out for a week. It's been out for a week. Yeah, if you haven't watched the full series, make sure you go. It's down in the description. Like, every episode is out now, if you were unaware. I figured the after show would be mainly people coming in that had already watched the show, and that's why they had questions. Hopefully. But I'm starting to get the same questions. So I might have answered most of the ones that people had. Just making sure. Loved your outfits. Thank you, Joshua. As did I. It's probably the most I got dressed up in the past, like, year for that show. If I was in Secret Saboteurs, do you think I would have won? Probably not. I'm a really bad liar. And I probably would have tried to, like, I don't even know. Probably not. I'm just gonna say, probably not. I wouldn't have won. Unless I was an honest player. That would if I was a saboteur, I probably would not have won. If I was an honest player, I may have won. But probably not, because every time we played Among Us, I would get voted out for no reason, because I just seemed suspicious, even when I was not. Ryan, 2Gamer, did I know that Chris was going to act like a double agent just to weed out the Secret Saboteur? No, that was all Chris, and I love that he did that. Like, literally me and the producers were like, yes, finally, somebody is playing, like, straightforward head games in this game. Like, they what's it called? Because they had cameras going constantly. Sometimes I wasn't there, obviously. I was either with the baby or, like, taking my break. So I would come back to my office lair, and they would be like, this happened while you were gone, this happened, this happened. And they told me what Chris did. I was like, yes, finally. Like, This is stuff that we would do when we played Among Us in games like, or Werewolf, or games with a similar thing where you're trying to weed out who the like secret people are. I was like, yes, so smart, Chris. Like Chris is the reason I think that they won, because it could have went either way. It was pretty much going to come down to Tiff, I think, and that's why I felt so bad for her, to make the decision of who she trusted more. But yeah, that was a big brain move. It was a big brain move via Chris. But yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping up. Just so that the camera doesn't die again, and so this video is not too long. But I think I answered most of the big questions that I've seen. I did say, how did you get the idea for the show? So the idea for the show, I mean, the idea for the show is based on like other shows in the past with a similar concept. Obviously we took it, made it different, tried to put more YouTuber-y and aspects of myself, my channel in it. But the show concept came from YouTube. They pitched the idea to me, and I was like, yes, 100%. Like, that show sounds amazing. Mainly because we'd just come off like the Among Us craze, and it was like a similar concept where you were trying to find who the secret people were that were like ruining things among you. The second they pitched the concept, I was like, I need to be a part of this. This is awesome. And then we started tweaking it and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for loving the show. Like I said, hopefully there will be a season 2, but there's a lot that we have to figure out before that's possible. So even if it is, it'll probably be a little while. But the more that you like the show, like digitally like the episodes and the show and share it and watch it with your friends and family, and the more engagement it gets and the more positive feedback it gets, the easier it will be for me to try and make a season 2 happen. If at all possible, we will try to find a way. But yeah, I'm gonna go up and hang out with my family, being that it's a Sunday, and I usually am not filming on Sundays. I'm hanging out with them. But yeah, new videos this weekend. Maybe some, new normal videos, going back to my normal gaming weird content this weekend. Next weekend, I might have 1 or 2, but I'm getting my wisdom teeth out, so be patient with me. I will make a post about it. And yes, to answer everybody's questions, because I keep getting it, I'm gonna try to film me coming off the, like, anesthesia from my wisdom teeth surgery to see if that makes a funny video or not. If it doesn't, then it'll never see the light of day and you won't know about it. But I'm gonna try. But yeah, otherwise, new content coming soon, and possibly a little bit less so that I can take a little bit of a break after all the Secret Saboteur-ness and surgery. But thank you so much for all the support. Honestly, like, this has been a dream come true to have this show, just to have the show on my channel, and have it have performed as well as it did and get as much positive feedback. It was such a great experience to film it. Yeah, and I will remember it forever. Whether it's just this one season or we get to continue it, like, dream come true for me. I'm happy either way. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking it so much. And this will be my last Secret Saboteur content for probably a little while. But make sure to go watch the show in the description. Okay. Love you all, and I will see you guys next weekend with some more content.